Welcome, friends. Today I brought you such a story that will touch your heart. In the middle of a snowy village, people gather in front of an old wooden church. On their faces are mocking smiles, because the bride is overweight and wearing torn, faded clothes. Her dress is shabby, but in her eyes lives innocence, and in her heart is hidden pure love. People laugh at her, whispering cruel words as if she is not even human. The poor bride falls to her knees in the snow, tears filling her eyes. Suddenly the silence is broken by the tender voice of a little girl. Holding a teddy bear, she steps forward and loudly says to her father, the cowboy, "She is pretty, Daddy!" For a moment the entire crowd freezes. The cowboy's heart melts at his daughter's words. He steps forward, takes the bride's trembling hand, and looks at her with respect that no one has ever given her before. Those who were laughing just moments ago now lower their heads in shame. Snowflakes fall along with the bride's tears, but this time, her tears are tears of happiness. The little girl hugs her, and for the first time, the bride feels truly beautiful. This moment of love and honor becomes a lesson for all. Real beauty comes from the heart, not the body. Friends, if this scene touched your heart, then I have a small request. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. This is your channel, Soul of Kindness. Welcome, friends. Today I brought you such a story that will melt your heart. The wedding ceremony is about to begin. Guests stand outside the church, whispering and mocking the bride for being overweight and wearing a simple, worn-out blue dress. Their laughter echoes in the cold air, cutting deeper than any knife. The bride lowers her head in shame, holding back her tears. Suddenly, the cowboy's little daughter runs forward, clutching her teddy bear tightly. She looks at everyone with her innocent eyes, then points at the bride and shouts, "She is the most beautiful, Daddy!" The crowd goes silent. The cowboy steps forward, his boots crunching against the snow, and places his strong arm around the bride's shoulders. His eyes shine with pride as he says, "Yes, my daughter is right. She is the most beautiful." Tears roll down the bride's cheeks, but this time they are tears of joy. The people who once laughed now bow their heads, ashamed of their cruelty. The little girl hugs the bride, and the snowy village witnesses a truth that cannot be denied. Love sees beauty where the world sees flaws. And friends, if this story touched you, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. This is your channel, Soul of Kindness. Welcome, friends. Today I brought you such a story that will stay in your heart forever. The snowy village is filled with laughter and whispers as the bride steps forward. In her torn blue dress, people mock her, pointing and jeering. Their harsh words echo like knives cutting through the cold air. Humiliated, the bride's eyes well with tears. She turns away, ready to run into the snowy woods and disappear forever. But before she can take another step, a little voice cries out, "Daddy, don't let her go! She's so pretty." The cowboy's little daughter runs and clings to the bride's dress, refusing to let her leave. The crowd falls silent, stunned by the child's innocent courage. The cowboy steps forward, his coat brushing the snow, and with firm resolve he declares, "Yes, my daughter is right. This woman is beautiful, and she's mine." He takes the bride's hand and lifts her up. The villagers lower their heads, ashamed of their cruelty. Snowflakes fall like blessings from the sky as the bride realizes she is no longer alone. She is loved, respected, and cherished. Friends, if this scene touched your heart, then please like, subscribe, comment, and share. This is your channel, Soul of Kindness. Welcome, friends. Today, I brought you such a story that will teach us the meaning of true beauty. The snowy churchyard is crowded with villagers. Laughter and cruel comments fly through the air as the overweight bride walks forward in her simple, faded dress. Her hands tremble, her face burns with shame, and she feels as though the entire world is against her. But then, the cowboy's little daughter steps into the center. She clutches her teddy bear and looks bravely at the mocking crowd. With her small but powerful voice, she shouts, "Stop laughing. My daddy says only kind hearts are beautiful, and she is the prettiest of all." A heavy silence falls. The villagers stare at the fearless child, their laughter dying in their throats. The cowboy steps forward, pride shining in his eyes, and gently places his arm around the bride. The bride bursts into tears, not from pain this time, but from overwhelming love. Snow falls softly around them as the crowd lowers their heads, realizing the child had more wisdom than all of them combined. True beauty is never in size, but in the soul. So friends, if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. This is your channel, Soul of Kindness. Welcome, friends. Today I brought you such a story that will make your heart smile through tears. The bride stands at the church gate, snowflakes resting on her torn veil. The villagers whisper, their cruel laughter stabbing into her heart. She lowers her head, believing she is unworthy of love, unworthy even of this moment. Her eyes fill with tears, and she whispers to herself, maybe they're right. Maybe I don't belong here. Just then, the cowboy's little daughter rushes forward, tugging on her father's sleeve. With her innocent eyes sparkling, she points at the bride and says loudly, "Daddy, she's so pretty, prettier than a princess." The bride gasps, stunned. For the first time in years, her lips curve into a smile. It is a trembling, fragile smile, but it lights up her entire face. The cowboy takes her hand with pride, and together they step toward the altar. The villagers, once laughing, now stand silent, ashamed of their cruelty. Snow falls gently, as if heaven itself is blessing the moment. The bride walks on with her head held high, no longer broken but beautiful in her own heart. Friends, if this story touched your soul, then please like, subscribe, comment, and share. This is your channel, Soul of Kindness.